Okay, this lesson is about soil, and our goal is to learn why soil is important to biomes. So by the end of the lesson, I want you to be able to explain what soil is and explain why is it so important to biomes. So what is soil? A lot of people, when I ask this question, say it's just dirt. It's more than just dirt. Soil is a mixture of many different things, and soil is really, really important. Soil is made up of water, minerals, air, organic matter, living things and decaying things. It really is the skin of the earth, and if we didn't have soil, then we wouldn't have life. Soil is living, it does move, it's an organic matter, and that's why it's important that we look after our soil, because if we don't, then what happens, the soil will eventually turn to sand and we can't use it. So soil is very important, not just to biomes but to humans. Start thinking how we could use soil for humans and why is it so important, particularly in a country like Australia. Why is soil important? Well, different types of soil means that different plants and animals can live there. That's why each biome has different types of soil. So not only do soils vary around the world, but they also vary around regions. And when we come to look at biomes in Australia, those biomes change because of the different soil types. We can tell the characteristics of soil by the temperature, rainfall and the rocks which lay underneath the soil, which is called bedrock. That's the solid rock that it's very hard to dig into. Basically that bedrock erodes eventually and forms soil with air, water, living things and decaying things. So soil really does vary between biomes and even within a biome as well. Now this diagram is it looks quite complicated, but it's actually not. We've got 4 biomes there. We've got tropical rainforest, which would be our forests. We've got deserts, we've got tundra, temperate, which would be grasslands. Now if you look carefully, if we go around from the rainforest A, basically the soil in rainforest, you think because of those big trees is really rich. It's actually not. It's very thin soil, and anything that dies and decays is in the top layer of the soil, which the rainforest plants use. That's why the soil in rainforests or forests is pretty easy to erode, because once we chop down trees, it gets exposed to the weather, it can erode very quickly and then become useless. So tropical rainforest in particular, the soil is very thin. However, some different types of forest, the soil can be quite deep. Then if we look at a desert, a lot of people would say that the soil, there is no soil in deserts. Well, remember, deserts not just sand, there are bits of rocks as well. So soil there again is quite obviously sandy, and it's very hard to grow any type of plants. The animals that live there normally are ones that dig tunnels and live underground, because that's where temperatures are cooler. Tundra, basically the soil again is very shallow, and because the weather is so cold, it's very hard to develop. There's limited amounts of time for growing anything because the soil is so frozen. And then D, the temperate or the grasslands. This is somewhere the better soils form, because the grass helps bind the soil together, which means if there's any rain, any wind, it won't get eroded. So this is where some of the better soils are found, and if they're really good, then we get forests on them as well. So you can see how the different biomes affect different soils. So start thinking, what's that got to do with Australia, and what's that got to do with humans? Okay, that's the video on why soil's so important.